They're not innocent, Bridget snapped. All these religions are guilty of bigotry and hatred. They're all just introducing people into hate and killing others. Religion can also provide purpose and help people find framework for what is believed in life, Sophia argued. No, it's all evil, Bridget claimed. Bridget, you need to get this idea out of your head immediately, Sophia scolded. Wicca is a religion of healing and helping, not impunity and revenge. You did trick her. My mother would never say that to me, Bridget shouted, getting more worked up by the second. What was especially sad and frightening to Thorne is that Bridget's mother and sister had died right around the time she was born, so there was no way how she could have known, or how they behave, or react to certain things. It was clear that Bridget had made up a fantasy in her head, and had built up all these years that she had gotten emotionally lost it. I'm going to kill all of you for corrupting my mother and sister, Bridget screamed in Thorne's face. Do you hear me? I'm going to slit all of your throats. Bridget dug her boot and took out a knife, which Thorne was completely unaware she had. Thorne didn't wait any longer. She immediately started to run. Holy shit, Bridget, Sam exclaimed. Have you gone insane? There was no way they corrupted Marisa, your mom. Thorne's the only one who knows about Wicca. She didn't even know how enough to do something like that, Nia reasoned. Oh, so they corrupted you guys too? I don't know how the hell they did that, but I am not going to allow that, Bridget shouted as she started chasing Thorne with a knife. Thorne didn't blame Nia and Sam for being freaked out. She had always thought Bridget was a pretty psychotic and evil. But the black-haired hex girl never even realized that she was so close to be completely separated from reality. Bridget proceeded to chase Thorne with the knife that she pulled out from her boot. As Thorne attempted to duck around the corners to lose Bridget, it was unlikely to work. But at this point, she was so desperate to do anything to stay alive. If you don't cooperate, then there will be no more Mrs. Nice Witch. I will have to use my powers and choke you until you're dead. And if you don't want that, do you? Bridget threatened, trying to return creepy sadistic Thorne was used to. Bridget, don't kill me. I'll do whatever you want, Thorne pleaded, as she kept running. I don't even know what it is you want. I don't need anything from you, bitch, Thorne smirked. Thorne, Bridget screamed. The time is talking is over. You're trying to trick me into thinking my mom is sister when it is not. I know they're not, and they never say those things to me. Thorne then heard a second set of footsteps running behind her, causing her to spin around, seeing Nia chasing Bridget. Bridget, how do you do? This isn't your real mother and sister. You've never met them. You don't even know what to say, Nia argued. Wait a minute. You do have a point, Bridget realized. Thorne desperately hoped that maybe Bridget was coming to terms in reality. Why am I chasing this bitch? I should be killing Gus and Luna for pretending to be my mother and sister. They're the ones who deserve to be killed first. Thorne panicked when she realized she was wrong. Bridget wasn't coming into terms with reality at all. She was only becoming more and more deluded. No, don't kill them, Thorne screamed. The fact that you're so passionate about this proves to me that I'm right, and it's really Gus and Luna, and it's not my real family, Bridget snapped. So you know what? What I'm going to do? I'm going to kill them right in front of you, and I'm going to make you watch them bleed to the floor, and it'll be the best punishment for you all. Then, it'll be just your heart is broken from losing your friends. I'll kill you too. Bridget, no, that's not what I meant, Nia exclaimed. Her psychotic pink-haired friend then turned around and began heading back towards the others. Thorne was shocked, but seemed that Bridget must have been pushed to the point of evil that Nia was comfortable with. You didn't want this to happen either? Thorne gave Nia a surprised look as they ran after Bridget side by side. No, the plan was to bring Bridget's mother back. Sam and I were trying to help our friend make a Wicca rule supreme religion, but Bridget's completely lost her grip on reality. If she kills her mother and sister, she'll never forgive herself. That was like the main part of the whole plan. Clearly, she misjudged her mother, and we'll have to find another way to make it work. Going through a mindless killing spree isn't going to do anything. It was weird for Nia to talk to Thorne if they were on the same level. especially after Nia and her friends have been using their powers to manipulate her for the past several months. Thorn was incredibly glad Nia recognized Bridget had flipped. Bridget had now arrived back over the stage area where Gus was standing and drew a knife to Gus's chest. So, Mother, do you want to lie to me one more time? Bridget taunted. Bridget, stop! The girls did not trick or manipulate me, and no one is pretending to be me. Sophia pleased. I'm your mother. Say that one more time and I'll do it. You know, I'll have to kill you, Bridget threatened. She was now so angry that her hands were shaking. I want you to look me right in my eyes and say it. Bridget, what do you want me to do? How could I convince you? Sophia begged, tears coming out of Gus's eyes. Wait, you're right. Bridget looked somewhat as if she had empathy. There isn't anything you can do to convince me, because there's no way this is my real mother. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to kill you both immediately. Gus let out a cardinal scream as Bridget drove a knife into him. Her face worried an intense craziness expression. Thorn and Nia had just ran over to Bridget as she took the knife out of his heart. No! Thorn screamed. You killed him, you hideous monster! Bridget looked charitably insane. She planted with rage, quickly took the knife and attempted to stab Luna. Thorn was feeling the ounce of bravery in the situation, but she knew what she had to do. She jumped at Bridget just as she was about to stab Luna, although Thorn's weight knocked Bridget down. The pink-haired psycho still managed to slash Luna's shoulder with the knife. Thorn knew that Bridget would probably torture her worse than this, but she wasn't going to let another one of her friends die from this fiend. Suddenly Gus's body lit up with the same hallucinating energy when it had been Sophia that possessed him. The burst of energy quickly separated into his own form as Gus's body collapsed on the floor. Sophia's transparent form manifested in the ball of energy in front of them. Bridget's jaw dropped and she began crying. Mother? Yes, Bridget, it's I, Sophia answered, as she sounded much weaker than she was before. Oh my God! Bridget screamed, looking at her hands. There was a bit of Luna's blood that had squirted out onto Bridget's palms that botched an attempt to kill the red-haired. What have I done? Although Luna remained conscious, her body also lit up with the sense of luminosity energy that quickly separated from her, Marisa's transparent physical form, in front of them. I'm so sorry, Bridget cried, her face turning red and completely covered in tears. I didn't really think it was really you. I thought they were tricking me. Bridget, I don't know what to say. Sophia sighed. It seems like you have almost completely detached from reality. Even your friends attempt to convince it was your sister and I, but you didn't listen. I'm sorry. It's hard to trust people, you know. And you were so important to me that I wanted to make sure it was really you. And your deaths made me grow up not trusting people. And I love you so much. Bridget was unable to finish her lengthy sentence, due to be enveloped in her own tears. I thought you said you weren't able to be in this world without possessing someone, Thorn pointed out. We weren't, Marisa confirmed. Gus and Luna's bodies are no longer compatible without killing them, because they were weakened by the wounds Bridget inflicted. What do you mean, without killing them? Bridget questioned. Bridget killed Gus. Your friend Gus is alive, but he's badly wounded, Sophia revealed. Bridget's just barely missing his heart with a knife. Oh, thank God, Thorn exclaimed in relief. We must hurry, though, Sophia warned. Our spirit forms cannot survive in this universe more than a few minutes without combusting. Shit, what do we do? Thorn panicked. We must do the ritual again. And quickly, Sophia responded. Okay, everyone, gather hands, Marisa instructed. Are you okay, Luna? Thorn inquired, as everyone got up from getting to sit in the same circle that they had previously opened the portal. Yeah, my shoulder's killing me, though, Luna informed. She sounded a bit weaker than usual. Good, at least there's one less thing to worry about, Thorn said. Can someone untie Dusk? I could do it, Sam said. We only had tied her up as a way to threaten you when you got back. How can we open it again? Nia inquired. We have to make someone's dreams come true to open it. We just can't make anyone's dreams come true again. Can we open the portal again with the same dream like last time? We did make someone's dreams come true, Marisa cryptically stated. Everyone had confused looks on their faces, causing Marisa to clarify the gesture of pointing at her sister. She's right, Bridget sighed. This was all I've ever wanted. Can you hand me the necklace, Dusk? Sure, Dusk said in a monotone, emotionless voice. Dusk had a hard time expressing emotions as well, and it was to be respectful conversation with someone who had tried to kill you and your friends was not more than 5 minutes ago. Thanks. Bridget appreciated as she put the necklace around her neck. Goddess of time, goddess of light, bring my mother and sister home tonight. Open the portal so they may go back to the world they've always known. Everyone, close your eyes and visualize, Marisa instructed before letting out a yelp. Marisa, what's happening to you? Luna shrieked. Fawn opened her eyes to see Marisa's form was slowly starting to disintegrate. I'm afraid the ritual isn't happening fast enough. We need to possess 2 other bodies and... Sophia's voice suddenly went silent. What's wrong with Sophia? Fawn asked. She was worried perhaps Sophia was starting to combust as well as she stopped speaking. The 2 bodies must come to us with the other realm. Once the portal is closed, the 2 people won't be able to come back to this world, Sophia said, now with sorrowful and regret present in her voice. Can't whoever just stay behind just make someone's dream come true and the others return? Dusk asked. No, Sophia firmly declared. The portal has been opened enough because of my daughter, and it can't be opened for selfish purposes again. Open a portal too much in this sort of period of time may also tear the every fabric of our universe. Everyone had remained silent for a while without extremely knowing what the choice they had made, until finally, unexpected person stood up. I'll do it, Nia said. What? Fawn exclaimed. Why would you do this? You're the only one that's been leading us all along. Well, Nia said. Should we tell them? Sam asked. Fawn looked over at Bridget, who was still consumed by tears. Bridget looked at Sam and gave a slight nod. I don't know if you guys will believe it, but we relate to your situation more than you think, Sam cryptically shared. Bridget's been manipulating us too, Nia revealed. We're not only her best friends, or at least not anymore. 3 years ago, Sam and I met Bridget at a Wicca Coven meeting. Sam and I had been best friends since we were little kids, and we've been getting into Wicca around that time, so we decided to go into a coven meeting. But after the meeting, Bridget came up to us, and we got into talking and hit it off. We got to know Bridget and started hanging out with her, till one night she revealed to us about her mother and her sister's unfortunate passings. And she started to talk about how much she hated religion, and how she indoctrinated people. We both agreed with her. That night, all of us came up with a plan to convert everyone into a world of Wiccans. It was just fooling us all around for fun at first, but we liked the idea and decided to pursue it. But as time went on, Bridget's hatred grew and her desire to see her mother and sister again got us stronger, and our plans became more developed. She told us about this amulet, the one you found at the Autumn Fest. The amulet's purpose is to bring people back loved ones that have died from the spirit world. So have you guys planted that amulet you found for me? Dusk questioned. Yes, Nia confirmed. For the amulet to work, we had to grant someone's wish. We heard the performance at last Autumn Fests, the one with Sarah Ravencroft's ghost, and the giant turkey. So we thought your music was amazing. You guys were an awesome band, and we felt like you should be known around the world. When Bridget said that we needed to grant someone's desired dream, we all first thought of the people came to mind for me. Bridget said that we gave you your dream and make you guys up the top charts to be famous around the country when we got to open the portal. What about the necklace you gave to me when we first met? Dusk questioned. It's just a regular necklace that we left for you to find as an excuse to talk to you. We gave it to you, a fake necklace we claimed it was from Bridget's mother, just to make sure if you ever figure out our true motivations. But you'd be thrown off the trial if you tried to research the necklace. It was just a decoy. That was all the other world we saw in the portal? Was an alternative reality with Jeff? Fawn asked. It was simply a portal that connected to the spirit world. Many dimensions with the universe contradicted with the portals and by one door, Sophia explained. There's nothing really felt wrong with making you guys famous at first. Sam then turned to the original subject. Maybe there's been a little manipulation and trickery, but in the end, you get what you wanted, and we get what we wanted. As things went along, Bridget became more and more determined to make her plan happen. It just felt like crazy with the project of seeing her mother and sister again. Regardless of the cost, She recommended we force Gus to sign you, rather than just introduce you guys to him and how Fane's crate played out. Nia continued speaking. We questioned Bridget the idea, and she asked her how we would force Gus to sign the Hex Girls if he didn't want to. Bridget said we used Wiccan rituals and magic we learned from to torture him into complying, Sam explained. We aren't on board with that. Manipulation seemed okay, but at least if you were benefiting in some way. But this was too far. We expressed concern for Bridget's behavior and admitted that she felt as if she changed as a person in the past few months. That's when Nia was cut off by Bridget. I could tell them, Bridget sorrowfully said. I threatened to torture them too if they didn't do anything, because I thought our plan was so brilliant that it would be a way to get my mother and sister back, like I always wanted. I couldn't let that fail. Things got pretty weird after that, though we still cared about Bridget, and things had changed. She started becoming more sadistic and more volatile, but we didn't even know what to do. We didn't even want to be tortured or killed, and we still liked how our friendship was, or at least what it used to be. So we just went along with everything she told us, Nia admitted. That was wrong because she caused so much hurt. We kind of disguised in yourselves into the hurting we're causing, Sam informed. It felt a lot easier to go along with the stuff Bridget told us if we didn't have to think about how it was affecting you guys. Like, with that being said, I'll volunteer too. We caused a lot of hurt and pain, and because of our cowardice and about standing up to Bridget, we affected 6 other people's lives. That was so wrong. This is what we deserve, Nia bravely stated. Are you guys sure about this? Thorne questioned. I mean, I didn't tell Luna right away after, and I didn't tell Dusk at all. I think all of us were afraid one way or another. You guys didn't actually do any of the torture, though. We choked Gus as a point of really being conscious or unconscious several times, not to mean psychologically tormenting Thorne. We directly went along with her plans, just so we don't be tortured. Sam hung her head. Somebody's got to do this, and given we caused this, I think it's the most fair outcome, Nia sighed. Have we witched any coincidence? The time is quickly running out, Sophia warned. No, you need to do this. Nobody should have to, Thorne argued. You were just as much manipulated as Bridget as we were. Yes, we do have reached consensus, and we're ready to do this. End of story. Sam finally gave it an ultimatum. I mean, just wonder you're doing say so. So sorry for manipulating you guys and torturing you all these months, Nia replied. I don't expect you to forgive us, but I hope our apology at least means something. We must join our hands again. Sophia joined in the conversation. Everyone rapidly did as they told, to ensure that Sophia and Marisa would be safe. Goddess of time, goddess of light, bring my mother and sister home tonight. Open the portal so they may go back into the world they've always known, Bridget repeated. Now everyone, we need to close our eyes and visualize the opening of the portal, Nia reminded. Thorne imagined the portal opening. Just as she's seen it before, she has gone in for the first time. She imagined a wooden door again, and made it open with the power of her mind. Thorne felt a sudden warmth of sun-kiss in her body, prompting her to open her eyes. The portal was beginning to slightly open again. It's working! It's working! Sophia exclaimed happily. As she began to transform into a ball of light, the energy moved towards Sam and lit up her body and consumed her. Thank you so much for everything. Although Nia and Sam will be trapped on the other side of the portal after we leave their bodies, they'll be able to live fulfilling lives in the spirit world. Repeat after me. Waishio Aikedo Shamru Tombarasis Strato do Bramri, Bridget said. Goodbye, Bridget. It was nice meeting you. Marisa stuttered a bit, clearly unsure of what her psychotic sister to say. Goodbye, my daughter. May you find Wicca once again, through much reflection and discovery. Sophia waved. It was a bit awkward to say that her daughter, whom she never got to meet before, would never see her again. But Thorne supposed that only seconds left in this universe, there was meaningful things that her mother could say to her daughter, who clearly had lost the grips of reality. Bye, Bridget, Sam awkwardly said, as Sophia's energy entered her body. Bridget, I just want you to know that even if you did get lost in the prospect of getting your mother back and changed as a person, I really appreciate our friendship, and it meant a lot to me. I can just find happiness and peace through yourself, Wicca. Nia heartfully waved goodbye, right before Marisa's energy took over her body. Marisa, Sophie, thank you for everything, Luna said, before the two spirits were departed back to their world. Yeah, thank you guys. You've been helpful to us, Thorn smiled. Thanks, guys, Dusk chimed in. We really appreciate it. I'm happy to help. I think you'll all find the things will come as they are intended, Sophia warmly smiled. With Sophia inside Sam's body and Marisa in Nia's body, the two spirits walked through the portal. Once they had fully entered the portal, it started to close. No! Without joining them, I have nothing. Nothing. Well, I think if they're leaving me, the joke's on them. I'm not going to let them leave without me, Bridget screamed, as she suddenly jumped in the portal after Nia and Sam and Marisa and Sophie. We can now finally be together like I've always dreamed. Mom, sis, I'm coming home. Bridget's body barely slipped in the portal just as it was closing, but she was fully able to enter the other world before it was completely shut. Thorn then would have had a thought of knowing better that Bridget was gone, but she almost felt sick to her stomach. The sort of hope of Bridget's realization of her horrific actions would lead her to go the path of self-discovery. But it was clear that Bridget was clearly unable to think rationally or in a healthy way. She was gone too far. Holy shit, Luna gasped. Thorn was surprised at this by Luna's uncharacteristic choice of words, but it was certainly quite warranted after everything had happened. What the hell did Sophia mean? All things must be they were intended? Dusk inquired. I don't know. I don't even know what to say or do now. Thorn then stood there as looking at the space where the portal was, in awe of the events that had transpired. We need to get Gus to a hospital, Luna reminded. No, Gus said, automatically chanting, sitting up. This blood was on his shirt, and of course where Bridget stabbed him had completely disappeared. I'm fine. Wait, how was that possible? Thorn questioned. Bridget stabbed you near your heart. You were unconscious. Really? I suppose that's correct. I don't even remember anything that happened the past hour. Gus shrugged. Last thing I remember is you were going through the portal and Sophia just possessed me. Did we stop Bridget, Nia, and Sam? I mean, kind of. Well, I don't even know to be a abbreviated version of this, but Bridget tried to kill you and Luna because she didn't believe it was really her mother and sister. She only slashed Luna's shoulder, but it almost stabbed you in the heart. Sophia and Marisa left your bodies because you and Luna weren't strong enough to hold their energy anymore. And it made Sophia and Marisa so weak that they possessed and posed as Nia and Sam. And they did the ritual. Now all four of them are back in the spirit world. Nia and Sam are stuck there because of that portal being too much damage to their universe. Bridget jumped in after them because she didn't want to be left alone without her or her sister. Thorn took a deep inhale. Did I get everything? Don't forget, Nia and Sam revealed that Bridget had been manipulating them too, Luna reminded. They had been friends before, but Bridget got so lost in the fantasy of bringing her mother and sister back that she even manipulated them and threatened to torture them until they complied. I don't even remote how to begin processing all that, or I'm just suddenly uninjured. But I suppose the fact that we've all survived this is what it's important, Gus replied in a disoriented and confused manner. Hey, the slash on my shoulder is gone too, Luna said, feeling her previously injured right shoulder, with her hand making sure it was healed. Maybe that's what Sophia meant? Thorn questioned, processing as she spoke. Maybe the harm Bridget inflicted her manipulative magic was just reversed as she left this world, entered the other? So after a moment of pondering and silence, Luna finally spoke up. So what do we do now? Luna awkwardly said. Well, we do have a show in a half an hour. We could probably just set up for. Dusk laughed as she glanced at the clock. Oh boy, Luna rolled her eyes. Even after a homicidal witch tries to kill us, Dusk is still on fame. Focus on our fame and talk about being blinded by the limelight. Blinded? Thorn joked. Certainly she didn't feel like a jokey mood, but maybe a little humor would lighten the emotionally confused and stressful mood. More like she drank the limelight if it were medicine. Dusk lives her fame, that's for sure. Thorn realized that her last comment came off awkward, but she couldn't figure out who else to blame her. It was really confusing what had just happened. Yep, I sure do, Dusk said. Man, Can't we like, get a day off to emotionally process what just happened to us? I feel that I need it. The girls then spun around as the door handle was rattling. The source of the rattling quickly discovered that the door was open. A man wearing a blue button-up shirt and tighty pants entered. "Hello, how may I help you, girls?" he inquired. Fawn was grateful that someone had found them. Quite frankly, she had no idea how it began setting up. She found it very odd that no one was there, despite the fact that they performed in an hour. She supposed it was because Sam had previously locked the door, but now she wasn't given how it had opened. Perhaps they realized that Bridget just went into the portal too. It was all very confusing to Fawn. "Hi, we're the Hex Girls, and we're performing at 7, Fawn informed. "Not according to our records," the man challenged. "The Backstreet Boys performed here tomorrow, but there's no show tonight. In fact, I've never even heard of the Hex Girls. Who are you and why are you here?" "Wait, you've never heard of us?" Luna questioned. How is that possible? We're number 1 on our competitively hit radio right now," Dusk challenged. "No, you're not," the man snapped. "Shape of My Heart by the Backstreet Boys is now the number 1 song for weeks. I follow the chart, and on the daily basis. I know that's popular." "But sir, we're telling the truth," Dusk pleaded. "Our album's even on number 2 on the Billboard for Hot 200 album charts right now." Now it's obvious the girls are lying. Some random band I've never heard of is not on number 2 on the board of the 200 Hot chart. "What did you call yourselves? The Hex Girls?" "What a silly name," the man taunted. "Since you obviously are here to cause trouble, I'll have no choice but to ask you to leave this building immediately." "What the hell do you mean?" Dusk started to challenge. "Let's go, Dusk." Gus patted the angry blonde on the shoulder as they began walking out of the other two. "We're so sorry to bother you, sir." Once they had left the building and gone far enough to be outside from the hearing range of men, Dusk exploded. "Who the hell does this guy thinks we're nobodies? We're one of the hottest bands in the world. What chart is he following? The one measure is how raging of an asshole you can become?" Dusk vented. "Dusk, I don't think he was lying. Remember how we guessed everything Bridget said her magic was undone when she jumped in the portal?" Gus reminded. "Yeah, but I don't see what does have to do with this, what that guy's being a dumbass," Dusk snapped. "That's a very interesting phase, though, what you said," Gus muttered to himself. "What I'm saying is that she made your band famous by manipulating the charts, right? And if everything she did was reversed, then she went back in the portal then." Gus didn't even know how to finish his sentence for Fawn to realize what he was saying, and it seemed like she was terrifyingly correct. "Nobody knows about our band anymore?" Fawn finished Gus's sentence.